Hey everybody, it's Jeff once again here with Entrepreneur Essentials, another Friday afternoon, and I have my friend Sehar, right?
Yeah.
She is an attorney here in Cedar Park, and does business law and all the things that encompasses. So once again, getting to understand not only the expertise that she has on the business law side, but also realizing that she's a small business owner too. So she's going through the same things that you have and the challenges you have. So this is always something that we want to make sure that we bring to you all these experts that we have here in town that understand from your point of view what's going on, and they're the experts that can help you guide through that path. And quite frankly, they are dealing with some of these challenges as well. Right below me is our subscription button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to get all these messages. You're not going to be able to get these things when they come out. So, Sehar, tell me a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
Sure, Jeff. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
I love T-Werx, and I've made that pretty obvious by how often I just drop by. But yeah, about me. So I started my legal career back in India. I was working for around 4 years with a small to medium-sized firm and doing primarily business law.
Okay.
And the kind of work I did was, big transactions, cross-border mergers, acquisitions, all the fancy stuff. And so I really enjoyed that. I had a great team. I had a great leader. It was a woman-owned, women-led firm, actually.
Nice.
And so I moved here in 2016, and after I moved here, it took me some time to figure out, the ins and outs of the United States and of Texas, of Austin. Sure. But I
chose right from the beginning.
I know, I love it. I love Austin. I'm a proud Austinite. But so I sat for the Texas bar, and I qualified it in my first go.
Nice.
So I was licensed back in November of last year, and once that happened, I was doing the same thing that we're all trained to do. Apply for jobs and try to get the best salary and the benefits, and make sure you're applying to all the big firms and all the small firms and stuff like that. And I wasn't really going anywhere with that. I wasn't getting much traction because the Austin legal market is, it's not as big as maybe the other big cities in Texas are, like Houston and Dallas. And I wasn't really getting a lot of traction because my experience was very different from what people usually see. I had a lot of Indian experience and a lot of international experience, but and I met someone. She's a local Cedar Park lawyer as well. Her name's Margaret Schmucker, and she looked at me and she said, "So why don't you go solo?" And
how could I do that? That's wrong.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't. What do you mean? And she said, "Yeah, you should." And she runs a very niche practice here out of Cedar Park, and she was one of the board members and the chairperson of the solo small firm section of the Austin Bar Association at a time. So she told me that you should definitely try, and she gave me all the ins and outs, and she connected me to a lot of local attorneys here, solo attorneys as well, whom I met. And I remember from my oath ceremony, which happened at the Frank Irvin Center downtown, that the Texas Bar actually had their own incubator program that they've been running for more than a year now. And I thought that, if I have to do this, why not do it with the most amount of support that I can? And I applied for the incubator program.
Nice.
And I got through. Okay. So I am currently a part of the Texas Opportunity and Justice Incubator. It's called TOJI. Okay. And I'm a part of the third cohort. We have around 28 lawyers right now, and across all practice areas, from family law to estate planning to business law, criminal, everything that you can think of. And it's been great because you're with like-minded people all the
Mhm.
time, and you get to learn from their mistakes, and
Absolutely.
you have like access to 27 other minds who've probably gone through the same thing. when it
Well,
comes
and,
to
and
running
I
a
would
small
guess too,
business.
when you get out of the incubator, now all of a sudden
They're lasting.
you have this whole
Yes.
team that where
Yes,
you would normally have to
definitely.
be in a big firm
Definitely.
and build all those relationships.
They're
You're building them
lasting,
together.
Yeah, definitely. They're lasting relationships, and everyone, all of us are small business owners in
Yeah.
our own, sense. All of us are running our small businesses, and we're all learning from each other. I have access to other people who have pretty much done the same thing and have pretty much started from scratch the same way I am, and so it's been a great experience to be a part of the program. So it's been around. I'm very new to my own
Okay.
solo practice. It's been around 4 months so far, and I'm
Okay.
loving every bit of it. I'm loving the flexibility, the freedom, and most of all, I really enjoy the fact that I can decide who I want to represent and in what capacity. In the sense that there are some people, and especially with small business owners, and that's like a pet peeve of mine, is that they don't go to business lawyers or they don't go to attorneys because they don't think they can afford them, or
Yes.
they don't think they can budget for them. But those are the kind of people I love helping, because there's always someone who can help you out.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I mean, and I've had several friends that have done that. I mean, you just have to be a good business person too, and you have to be able to
yes.
to separate the two in some
Definitely.
cases. I want to be a great attorney, but I also, this is a business,
Yeah.
and I need to be able to to run my business just like those people that are coming to you.
Yeah, that's
You know.
that's true, definitely. But I think that's where the incubator has helped, because
Good.
they provide you with us with a lot of resources, so it keeps our overhead pretty low. So right now I'm lucky to be able to do the kind of work I want to with all sorts of people from all sorts of economic backgrounds, so to speak. So that's great. But you're absolutely right, and juggling the two together, where you're working with other business owners, but at the same time running your own business, it's a pretty tough act to balance. And I mean the biggest thing is that as a small business owner, you wear all sorts of hats. So it's not just me helping you take care of your legal needs. It's also me, doing my marketing and doing my invoicing and doing my administrative stuff and everything. So the networking.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a whirlwind so far.
Awesome. Well, but
Yeah.
I mean, but it's fun too.
It
I mean,
is.
that's.
It is.
Now, do you guys have kids or?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We
So
don't.
you don't have that.
Oh yes, I don't know how people do it with kids. But
Well, but I think if you ever do, that's the having your own individual practice where it's like, hey, I make my own schedule. I don't have to.
Definitely.
I'm not working on projects where I have to be at work for 20 hours at a time.
Yes,
And
absolutely. And I mean, to give you a small example, my husband and I, we love traveling.
Yeah.
And he works at a job. One of us has to, right? And every time we try to make plans of traveling, it's always him who's like, yeah, but I have only these many PTOs left. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm good, man. I can do whatever I want.
I can just take my laptop and work out of anywhere. So yeah, you figured out your schedule. So that's great. As I said, the flexibility is
It's
great.
awesome. Yeah.
It's a very good feeling to know that you're doing the best work and you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
You're building your own brand.
That's exactly correct.
And you're not doing it for a big corporation, or you're not doing it for someone, and you're not even. I mean, to be honest, there were times when I was working in my previous firm, or actually not in my previous firm, but when I was interning, and I interned in these big law firms like you have here, and you never even get, like, forget me, I was an intern, but even the attorneys working on the case never get to meet the client face to face. And the attorneys who are actually talking to the client never work on the case themselves.
So
because it's
somewhere
all
in
handed
there, there's a
down.
loss of communication
exactly.
that
Right, and at the same time, yes, of course, big law services are great because they have the experience, they've done countless cases and
resources to do that
Yeah.
and everything else.
But small business owners can, at these nascent stages of their business, can really never even think of going to a big law firm and asking them for legal advice or support. So that's where people like me come in.
I love it. I love it. I mean, and like I said, you understand from your business perspective.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about what you do. You know, who do you like to work with? Who's your best clients, and then some of the services that you provide for them.
Sure. So I like to say that I help businesses in all 3 stages of their growth cycle, so to speak. So it's when you're just forming your business, when you're like managing your business in its early stages, and when you're growing.
Okay.
So formation, it's something that I keep telling all my clients. You might just be running this as a side business for now, or you might just be thinking, oh, I'm just starting out, you know, I'll just do it as a solo and as a sole proprietorship and then see where it goes. But more often than not, you never really realize till your business becomes so big that, you know, something as small as incorporation kind of goes to the sidelines, and it's something that you think of 5-10 years down the line. So that's something I think every small business owner should. Of course, once you have your business plan ready and you know what you're doing, talk to an attorney and try and understand the kind of services that you're providing. What is the best way you can do that so that you're not making yourself liable for the business? So if you're just, you know, if you're dealing with a lot of customers, if you're going to have potential employees down the line, make sure that your entity is completely secure and you personally don't have to, you know, bear the liability of the business.
Yeah.
So that's one big part of what I do. And with the managing and growth comes in most businesses come contracts, right? And that's something that nowadays people are so internet savvy that they just go online and pick up a form. And that's what they use for their big vendor contracts, for their employment agreements, for their non-disclosure agreements. And sometimes it works, but more often than not, it's not suited to what you're doing. That person who made that template doesn't know what your business is about, doesn't know what liabilities you're facing, doesn't know what the small, you know, minuscule details about your business that if you sit with an attorney and talk to them face to face, that you'll probably, you know, realize maybe you didn't even know those. An attorney can help you think of those. So that's a big part of what I do. I help people draft their contracts. I even help if you received a contract from like a vendor or from anyone, even in landlord-tenant situations. If you receive if you're renting out your property, I can prepare those agreements for you.
Even just review the agreements.
Or review them, and in some cases even negotiate them. Because if you're dealing with bigger companies, they usually have a set template, but that doesn't mean that they're not open to negotiations. If nothing else, it doesn't hurt to ask. And that's something a lot of small business owners don't realize. They just sign something, and sometimes without even reading the agreements. And when things go south is when they're like, oh, we didn't know our agreement said, you know, this would be default. Well, you should have probably read it before signing it.
You probably should have looked at that, maybe.
So that's a pretty big part of what I do.
Okay, fantastic. Well, what's something new in your business now?
Right now, as you know, this is something you and I have.
All right. So tell me a little bit about what's new in your business right now.
Sure. So from a professional front, so as far as the business is concerned, as far as the law is concerned, the new tax code is something that's been affecting a lot of business owners, and that's something that all of us are still trying to understand and see how exactly what kind of advice to give to our clients about that. So that's something that I'm trying to get adjusted to. But personally, I also recently got elected as a board member of the solo small firm section of the Austin Bar Association that I mentioned.
Congrats! Yeah,
thank you. So that's been great. It's allowing me to meet with a lot of colleagues who've been in the business for longer, and
this was a smart move on your part.
They think I'm very new, and the more I can learn from these people who've been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years, the better it is. So that's something I've been doing lately.
Awesome. So now how long are you in the incubator for?
So it's an 18-month program, and I think it's just been around 4 months, so I have some
you've
time
got 14 months, a little over a year. That's great. So
do
they have a space for you to work from?
We are in a shared co-working space near downtown, and but I mostly divide my time between downtown and up in Cedar Park because a lot of my clients are in this area, and I try to make it easier for them so that I can commute and they don't have to come all the way and face that terrible
It
traffic.
makes complete sense.
Yeah,
People
so-
want to do business with people in their community too.
Yes,
I mean, it's
definitely.
plain and simple.
So I try to keep it very flexible and maybe
Good.
do like half a week here and half a week down there.
It makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, well, fast 5 questions now.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yes.
All right, so you wake up in the morning, business is gone. You have $500 in your pocket, laptop, computer, place to live. What do you do first?
I think I'm just gonna take it easy and go on a vacation.
Okay.
And then
I
come
like
back
this.
and find another incubator.
Yeah.
program. But in all seriousness, I think we shouldn't, like, no one should really don't take yourselves so seriously that you don't enjoy what you're doing and you don't enjoy living, because of course business is great and businesses come and go, but you only got the one life. So I don't believe in, getting worked up or getting really frustrated if something doesn't work out. Just
Okay.
take a break and come back to it, and
I like it.
something else will come up.
Go smell the roses for a bit and come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's the biggest entrepreneurial mistake that you've made?
Definitely something that in the initial months that I was doing is every time I used to get a client call or like a request for a consultation, and if things didn't work out, I would start questioning why that happened and what could I have done better, and which is all great because it's something you learn from, but as long as it doesn't go beyond the idea of things that you're picking up and you don't want to make those mistakes the next time. As long as you keep it there and you're not still sitting and regretting things and then delving into it deeper and deeper. So my husband's been great at that. He always manages to pull me back out, but that's something initially is something that it was bothering me a lot, and I was dealing with that. But I like to think that now I've become a little better at it.
Yeah, well, you have to grow a thick skin and
Yes.
and realize. I mean, from being in the sales field for over 30 years, it's nothing personal.
I know.
If they
Water
decide,
off a duck's back.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
one of two things: they either weren't smart enough to figure out you were the best choice, or two, wasn't the right time.
Yeah.
And you'll be amazed that people will come back to you. If it was not the right time, they still remember you.
Yeah, that's the hope.
And staying in
Yeah.
contact with them. If
Definitely.
you've got their contact
Definitely.
information, just keeping with them. I mean, that's a super big
Absolutely.
key to it. What's a good book that you recommend for an entrepreneur?
So this is something that I haven't personally finished yet, but it's something that I've been hearing a lot about, and
Okay.
I can't wait to get my hands on it. It's called Profit First.
Oh, yes.
You.
Oh, yeah, we
So
teach that
that's-
here.
Oh yes, I think that's something every small business owner should probably look at.
Absolutely.
Read it. I've gone through like bits of it, but I just haven't had the time to completely.
Just take
But
a long
people-
weekend.
Yeah, and people like stick to it like it's the written
But
word.
you have to, but you have to do that.
Yeah.
It's just too easy to get into the point where you're just like, okay, I just keep working and working and working and
Yes.
working, and I'm not making any money, and I'm not paying myself, and
Exactly.
then people get 2-3 years down the road, and they're like, okay, I've been working my tail off for 3 years now, and I have not made any money. I just quit. I give up.
Exactly. So that's
If you can build that into your business from day one, it's incredibly smart because you're automatically carving out, okay, this is what I'm paying myself. So for every dollar that comes in, I get this amount, this percentage comes to me as far as pay. This percentage goes to taxes. This percentage goes to profit. Now, whatever's left, that's what I have to run my business on. And so when you're running that kind of lean in your business, all those things that you say, oh, well, I need this, that's $200 a month. Well, do you really need it?
Yeah.
So I either
Exactly.
trade off, can I get that some other resource? Do I need that? Or, okay, I'll just have to live without until I grow my revenue enough to be able to pay for that.
I completely agree. And so that's something I would recommend to all
Totally.
all small business
Totally. Yeah, you got to get through it.
I will.
That's a big one.
Summer is coming. so
Summer's
I
coming.
will.
You have time to do it. What's a tool that you use in your business every day?
So I'm really trying to automate my practice as much as I
Okay.
can because it's just me and it's a lot of things to do. But having said that, there are a lot of fancy tools out there. There's like practice management softwares and so on and so forth. But I think the best tool for me is a calendar,
Okay.
a plain and simple calendar, because if I can't keep a track of my appointments and where I have to be, because I said that I commute. I meet
Yeah.
my clients at, so I mean that's a lifesaver. And I'm old school. I still like to have my little notebook with dates jotted down, but that calendar, whether it's a Google Calendar, an iPhone, anything that you use.
So you use kind of both.
Oh.
You use paper and.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do. But at the end of the day, I know that, you know, if I don't have my calendar with me, I'm completely at a loss.
So Sehar, tell us how we get a hold of you.
Sure. So I'm pretty much everywhere. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, my website, www.seharlaw.com.
Okay.
Or just send me an email at s.aijaz@seharlaw.com.
Okay,
And I
great.
usually respond within 24 hours.
Awesome.
Little plug-in, I also offer free 30-minute initial consultations
Okay,
for
that's
anyone
awesome.
who just wants to have the discussion.
Just have that initial, okay, just need to know,
Just need
yeah.
to know. So yeah, I'm happy to chat.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I mean, and I think that's the best part about having folks like this. You've got resources out there that want to help you, that want to help small businesses. So you need to look her up. We'll have all that information down in the show notes page, so you can just go right to it, whether you're on YouTube or you're on our website. Just look down below and you'll see all of her information. You'll see the book that she recommended. All that type of stuff will be in there, so you can get right to her. But absolutely one of the smartest ladies I know in the business law side. So really need to reach out to her and work with somebody who really cares about small business, I think, more than anything. So thanks, everybody. We appreciate you looking in, listening in once again. We'll look forward to seeing you here next week. So just keep your eye out. Make sure you click that subscription button so that you'll get these as soon as they come out. So thanks, and we'll see you next week.